Hi besties, it's Angel Shinde and welcome back to my new YouTube video. And it's about to rain outside, that's why this low lighting. Anyways, today's video is about how I turned this kurta of my grandmother's into this beautiful top. And also it's my birthday coming up next week, so I have got my nails done. So get ready to see how I make this cute little top. So before we start, this is the top inspo I used to create the top. As you know, this is the kurta. I'm going to be cutting off the parts of kurta which I'm folding here and using this specific part to create the top piece, that is the chest part of the top. After cutting, I'm cutting the edges too here so that it's easier to create the top. After putting the pieces together, this is how it looks. Now take a chop and mark the piece of fabric that has to be cut, and also take a measuring tape and measure how much you want the chest part of your top to be, just so you know it should be below your chest. Now mark the length of your shoulders, just so you know it should be half of the length of your shoulders. Now measure your armhole and mark your armhole length here. This should also be the half of your armhole length. Now just extend this line to the edge of the fabric. Now measure your neck and the length of the neck you want to be and mark it on the fabric just the way I've marked it. I've taken half an inch as the width of the neck. Note, take length according to your head. Now once you have marked the length of the neck, mark the length of the chest part of the top that we have already marked, which was right below the chest. Now mark 2 inches right besides the neck. That's going to be your back. Now as you can see, there is a curve here. Now let's mark that on the fabric. Before marking the curve, take 2 to 3 inches of gap and then mark the curve. I've not taken any inches of gap. Please don't do my mistake and take 2 to 3 inches of gap. Now cut the pieces of fabric very carefully and very neatly. Actually, I made a mistake while arranging the fabrics and arranged it not facing away from each other but facing the same direction, and that's why it didn't come out good. And that's why my mom came to the rescue and we made the same thing with the leftover fabric which we had. Now the upper part, that is the chest part of the top, is done and it's time to attach the remaining part of the top to the fabric. Arrange the pieces neatly and carefully, don't rush it. So as you know, there is a curve between the top, so we have to cut that piece out. After stitching, this is how the top looks like. I have stitched the edge of the neck too. Now I'm going to use this old top of mine for the inspo. Here I'm going to be marking how much armhole length I want and how much length of the top from the sides I want, so that I can sew the sides. So the front part of the top is done and it's now time to attach the back part of the top. This is the fabric I'm going to be using. So my top was a little big from the side, so I had to alter the edges of the top. So I'm marking here the edges of the top which I want to cut. Now let's cut it. This is how it looks after cutting the edges. Here I'm going to be showing you again the back piece of the top. This is the back piece and now I'm going to cut it to the same length as the front part. After cutting, sew everything together. This is how the top looks after sewing the back piece. Now I'm going to sew the ends of this top. So that's it. This is how my top looks after sewing everything together. And this is how the top looks on me. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe.